Hi, I'm Pamela, and this is the Xenessa Project. For 5 minutes at a time, we search for clarity beyond the feed.
Signal found. Reset begins now.
Right now, as you're listening to this, algorithms are deciding your future. Not in some far-off dystopia, but today. Apply for a job this week, and there's a good chance, about 75%, your resume will be tossed before any human ever lays eyes on it. Not because you can't do the job, but because a machine didn't recognize the pattern of your experience. Look for an apartment? Algorithms decide which listings you even get to see. Apply for a loan? They'll judge your worthiness in milliseconds, using data you've never even seen and can't contest. We're all being sorted, filtered, approved or rejected by systems built to stay invisible. And sometimes those invisible decisions crash into a single life. Sarah had everything. 10 years of award-winning marketing experience, references from 3 CMOs, and a portfolio that perfectly matched a senior strategist role. After 5 years of caring for her father, she was ready to return to the workforce. She applied. And then, nothing. No rejection, no confirmation, just silence. Sarah assumed her career gap was the problem. But the truth was simpler and harder to see. No human ever even read her name. This is what's called algorithmic gatekeeping. Systems that decide who deserves consideration before people get a say. Applicant tracking systems, or ATS, are behind it. Nearly every large company uses them. They don't actually read resumes. They scan for keywords, job titles, software names, and degrees. They can reject an application with a gap, like Sarah's, or one that doesn't use the exact language in a job posting. And ATS is only one piece. Credit algorithms analyze your spending. Housing algorithms rank your desirability using proxy data. Every one of these systems is sold as more efficient, fairer, and more objective. However, what they actually deliver is something else entirely: invisible discrimination on a massive scale. The gatekeepers have become ghosts, and when you can't see who's saying no, you can't push back.
Harvard research reveals that 27 million hidden workers are filtered out by hiring algorithms, not due to inability, but because of algorithmic blind spots. The bias extends beyond individual companies. In 2018, Amazon scrapped its AI recruiting tool after it downgraded resumes containing the word women's. Trained on data reflecting decades of male-dominated hiring, what was presented as neutral turned out to be history, repeated and amplified. ProPublica's investigation, Machine Bias, found that risk assessment algorithms in the justice system were far more likely to incorrectly label Black defendants as high risk compared to white defendants with identical profiles. Algorithms never start from zero. They inherit the data fed to them, and with it, the patterns and prejudices of the past.
This isn't malfunction, it's design. Algorithms are built to replicate patterns, and the problem is that our past is marked by inequality. Now we've automated it. Here's what happens when that becomes normal. We change ourselves to fit the machine. Job seekers hire consultants to optimize resumes for ATS. They split their experience across multiple versions, each tweaked for different filters. People research which zip codes increase their chances of getting a loan. They curate their social media, not for friends, but for employers' algorithms. Bit by bit, we start teaching ourselves to think like the machines judging us. And when you optimize yourself for an algorithm, you lose something. You stop being fully yourself. The cruelest part? Most people never even know why they were rejected. They assume they weren't good enough, when the truth is far more straightforward. They failed a test they didn't know they were taking. Sarah spent months wondering what she'd done wrong. The issue? 2 missing words: growth marketing. 10 years of experience erased because of 2 keywords. The philosopher Hannah Arendt once described bureaucracy as the rule of nobody, a system of decisions without accountability. Algorithms extend that logic. They shape lives, yet no one is directly answerable. It's not just who gets hired or who gets housing, it's who even gets the chance. But locked gates don't stay locked forever. The pushback has begun. Some cities now require companies to disclose when they use automated screening. Skills-first hiring platforms are shifting the focus away from resumes and onto what people can actually do.
Platforms like CodeSignal and TestGorilla evaluate candidates with real-world tasks and anonymous assessments. Other companies are experimenting with direct video introductions to bypass filters and add a human element at the first step.
For individuals, strategy means translation and transparency. Learn to speak the algorithm's language when you must, tailoring resumes with keywords. But don't let that define you. Ask employers directly if they use automated systems. Push for transparency. And when you see bias, tell those stories out loud. Because your value isn't your keyword count. Your potential can't be parsed by a machine learning model. The future won't belong to people who game the system. It'll belong to those who insist on being seen as more than the sum of their searchable parts. And every time you refuse to reduce yourself to data points, you're voting for a world where humans, not algorithms, decide what humans are worth. You've been listening to the Xenessa Project. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and never stop searching for signal beyond the noise.
Signal fading. The search continues.
If today's episode resonated with you, follow the Xenessa Project on your favorite podcast app. And if you have a story about your own experience with algorithms, I'd love to hear it. Visit Xenessa.com to share. And for more powerful ideas beyond the feed, join our newsletter.